Welcome to Vicoding University, training humans to train themselves. Okay, today we're trying to get you to, in this series, to get you a feel for this train yourself machine that you're developing of yourself and what it can do for you and where it can take you. And so you start to sense it and start to have a chance of developing it. Remember, level two is you first imagine it, what it would look like in your life, how it would work, how you would go through it. Then you take it into your situation, you figure out a few situations where you could use it. Then you practice it. Then you wake up in the morning, and you just do it. Whether you're tired, whether you're sleepy, it's just who you are. Okay, that's level five. That's where we're going to. So, remember when I talked to you about how I learned to snow ski, right? My friends, well, first of all, I talked about first. I told you I was prepared. Okay, I was an athlete. I knew judo. I knew how to fall down. So I had strong legs. Wasn't afraid. I was a football player, so I wasn't afraid of falling. Uh, I was prepared. I was ready to learn to ski, and they basically took me down the bunny hill once. Then they put me on the lift, took me to the top of the hill, and said, "Okay, head down." They went one way, I went another, and I went down and I fell 90% of the time. But I was going for it. And I was learning. It's like trying to figure it out, figure it out, figure it out. But I went straight back up to the top and went for it again and again and again because I was training myself. I wanted to learn, and I was figuring it out, and I was working on it and getting better and better and better. Okay, and it was exciting. Okay, and that's what your training your machine is going to be like. Now, as when you're younger, all this energy. That's one of the things you got to think about is that when you're young, you have all this energy, and you don't realize um, that there's a lot of other tools that you can do to make it work better. Okay, I remember when I was we moved a lot, and I used to always be part of the move. And I used to, as a kid, would always, man, I moved all the boxes in, moved the furniture in, never used a dollar, never used anything. I got it. And my son's a little bit like that now. But as you got older, you start to understand, man, dollars are really good. They can leverage and all these different things that make it so much easier and, believe it or not, faster. And you deliver the furniture or whatever the box is a lot less broken, scratched, or whatever. Anyway, the key is that tools can help, and learning the developing methods and processes and getting things to work better. Okay, so here I am as a kid, lots of energy, learned how to ski because I just go for it. The old Nike saying, go for it. Now, the challenge with the Nike saying is a lot of people go for it, but they're not prepared. So, that's one of the challenges is, go for it. But they don't know how to prepare themselves either. They don't know how to, so shall we say, develop or grow their eggs. Just like a baby, you can't, learn to walk until its legs are strong enough. Okay, well, a lot of times you can't learn to do something until something has been developed, or you're at the right process. You've learned this process or that process. But figuring out what those processes are sometimes is a little challenging. When I went for snow skiing, if you want to think about it, is I sort of had seen some snow skiing on TV, I think in the Olympics once, and other than that, I didn't know too much what it was. These were my friends were going snow skiing, and they had snow skied for years, and they, loaned me boots and everything, and we went for it. And it's like when you put together a puzzle without a picture. That's sort of like how I was going for it. I had no clue what it really meant, but I sort of had it must be something like this, and I went for it. But if you get a picture, all of a sudden now things go together much more quickly. And that's one of the things, like just a little bit of research, figuring out stuff, looking at stuff. You can design things even, and now it goes together much faster. And if you put together some things ahead of time, so to speak, the preparation, you can even make it go together faster and faster. And I think I related to you one time about over in Japan, they put together this like amazingly like 30-story building in a week or something like that. And it was like, whoa. Usually it takes, at least, a year or more to put together, a building like that. And here they're doing it in a week. And well, they brought in stuff, put together ahead of time, got this. They had inspections and everything, but it was move in ready after a week, and it's like, wow. Okay, but there was design, there was planning, there was intentionality to it, and as a teacher, you sort of, look to have that happen. You look to see, well, this person's got this done, this done, this done, so we're ready to put this together. So we can now put a lot of stuff together that's really going to do an amazing project. In other words, they know how to write, they know how to, this, and all they have to do is sort of help them put it together and show them how the putting together process works, and we've got a great project. They're ready for it. See, a lot of people start out, trying to accomplish big goals, and they don't have much put together, or they don't have the right strength or skill in this or that, and they have no idea how to put those together, or that they need to put those together. It's no, this is the the trick that they learned in the book, or this is the skill that you're supposed to use, or this is the thing you're supposed to do. And it's, as a teacher, you look back, and since you've seen the picture, okay, but a person could research the picture, right, and figure out what the picture should look like put together, and research how it gets put together, and what are the steps of getting this together, and the important aspects. How do you put these little pieces together? You can research that, and then I know that because I taught many, shall we say, subjects that I had no clue. Well, let's put it this way: in high school and college, I didn't do well in them, and I just memorized and went through it. Didn't understand it, but I went back, understood them, and figured out how it all went together and why things were important, and was able to teach it. Okay, now one of the, there's always a lot of these little things you got to put together, but as you start to put them together, there's other stuff as well. There's timing, there's warm up, there's priming. There's a person may know how to do it, but they may not be warmed up and ready to do it. May not be primed to the top of their mind, or their skill may be off a little bit, so they're not quite on time. The timing is wrong. A lot of different things like that. Now, a way that you can get around a lot of that is copying. Now, let me just be clear here real quick. See, one of the ways we're trained is by copying. It's a skill that we're good at. Okay? If we, the people we hang around with, we're going to pretty soon become just like them. That's the old saying. It says if you look at the 5 people you hang around most with, and you look to see where they're going, well, you're going in the same direction real soon. So, real important. You get trained. We copy really well. Okay, and when I was teaching ESL, okay, you teach people to speak English that initially spoke some other language, and they always had an accent. It's like, how do you get rid of the accent? And there's books on how to get rid of the accent, and they pay attention to all these different sounds and stuff like that. But the the easiest way to get rid of the accent is to teach the student to copy. Okay, so because initially the way they teach people to learn English is they teach it like they teach grammar school kids, right? They teach them the sounds, and this is a long A, this is a short A, and then they practice the and all the different sounds, and they sound out the words, and then with all this rigmarole, the student can pretty soon read, and then pretty soon if they read, then they can speak the language. That's sort of the process. Well, it's like, what if they just didn't read, they just copied the sound? See, when you always are amazed how, or I was amazed how, here are these people that speak this foreign language, and they're singing this American song almost identical to the original singer, and without an accent. And you go, whoa. And then you hear them talk later about how they, them talking in their language, they have this huge accent, and it's like they speak a different language, and their English is broken, but they sing this song gorgeously. So I practiced in my ESL class when I had my students learn to copy identical. Okay, so I'd say something and they'd say it. And I'd say it in some crazy way, or some slow way, or we'd have some recording, stuff like that, and they'd have to copy. So in fact, in some of my classes, I mean, YouTube is great. There's so many crazy people speaking crazy ways. In other words, not all English speakers speak the same, and you can speak with a southern accent. You can speak, but you can play around with it. And now, as you start to play around with these by copying, you develop this copying technique, and now you start to relate to what it means and what you're saying. And believe it or not, some of these speakers start to learn how to speak English without an accent. And it's like we learn to do it by copy. And it's fast. It's fast. It's faster than the slow way. So copying is a real important thing you maybe want to incorporate. The key is where I'm trying to get you is that, I started out snow skiing with a lot of energy with a very basic, crude, train myself methodology, shall we say. But you can train yourself by first getting the picture and then training yourself. You can do research and figure out stuff, and you can, if you know somebody that does it, you can copy different aspects about it. I mean, one of the things you hear people say is, well, if I was this person, what would he do, or how would they do it? And they sort of in their mind copy it out, and you can. Those are, I mean. Your train yourself machine is gonna develop all different aspects of it, all different ways to work, and the key is to keep developing so it works better and faster for you. Strategizing, becoming a teacher, in your mind to yourself, and you think, man, I got this student and he knows this. How am I going to get it? You have to. You're training you, and it's as you get to know you, and you look in the mirror, and go, oh, what could I do with that? You start to see, well, I could do this because I know something about this, and I've seen over here it's done that way, so we could copy that and put it in here real quickly, and you got the idea. What I want you to get the idea is that your train yourself machine is something you can grow and develop. And you can start to take it in places you probably never thought you could take yourself, and faster or quicker than you ever thought you could take yourself. But remember, if you just force it, you got to step back. The force is when you start to force it, it's the biggest sign that you want to say to yourself, uh-oh, I'm slowing myself down. I mean, there's the old saying, the guy comes to the guy and says, man, if I work really, really hard, how long is this going to take me? Oh, probably about 5 years. And he says, well, what if I do it twice? If I put in twice the effort, how long is it take me? He says, oh, about 10 years. What if I put, oh, well, come on now, I really want to, what if I put in 3 times the effort? Well, you'd probably never be able to do it. It's like, you got to remember, when you start to force, you're doing the wrong thing. Training yourself is something that you have to go through that process of seeing yourself doing it, engaging in it, wanting to do it, wanting to train yourself so that you become that person. You have to find that path, that picture that goes together and works with who you are and who you want to become, and with your values and things of that nature. So here we are. So the key is it's a machine. This train yourself machine is something that has many aspects of it, and you're gonna if you want to keep working on developing more and more techniques and searching around for them. Bytecoding University, training humans to train themselves. All right, we'll see you later.